Yes, and breaking news.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to All Transfer News. Today, we've got the latest updates on our beloved club, Liverpool. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of Liverpool transfer news. Let's get started.
Liverpool set to ditch interest in Guehi in favor of signing Premier League Royce. Liverpool may be ready to move away from their long-standing interest in Guehi and instead turn their focus towards his Crystal Palace teammate, Maxence Lacroix, reports suggest. The Reds did manage to bring in one defensive reinforcement during the last summer transfer window, signing promising young center-back Giovanni Leone from Serie A outfit Parma. Unfortunately, the Italy youth international suffered a serious ACL injury shortly after joining, which could sideline him for the rest of the season. Had Liverpool secured Guehi, they would have had extra depth to cover Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate, with the England international even capable of challenging Konate for a starting role. A £35 million deal was almost completed on deadline day before Crystal Palace abruptly withdrew. Despite Guehi having begun his medical, speculation has since lingered that Liverpool could revisit the move in January, or wait until summer when Guehi's contract situation becomes more favorable. However, Football Insider now reports that another name has overtaken him on the Reds' shortlist, with the possibility that Guehi never arrives at Anfield, but one of his current teammates might. Lacroix, Palace's 25-year-old French centre-half, has emerged as a strong candidate. Sources told Football Insider that Liverpool scouts have been impressed, labeling him a Rolls-Royce defender. They reportedly believe Lacroix is already among the Premier League's top defenders, and his relatively low profile only increases his appeal. His form has even given him an outside chance of breaking into France's World Cup squad, should both he and Palace maintain their strong performances. In an interview with The Guardian earlier this year, Lacroix expressed confidence about his international future, saying, "One day I will play for a national team, I know that. But for now, my focus is Crystal Palace, reaching the semi-final, and winning this cup." He also spoke openly about his Christian faith, explaining that he often leads teammates in prayer before matches. "We've been doing this since I arrived. Some players wanted it, but didn't know how to start. Now it's normal. I'm more like the pastor of this team. I speak about God, about Jesus, and share my knowledge of the Bible with them." Meanwhile, Liverpool boss Arne Slot has confirmed injury updates regarding key players. Goalkeeper Alisson Becker, who limped off in the midweek defeat to Galatasaray, is expected to miss several matches and has already been left out of the Brazil squad. Slot admitted, "I'd be surprised if Alisson is back for the first game after the international break." On a more positive note, both Hugo Ekitike and Federico Chiesa could feature against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge this weekend. The pair will train ahead of the clash and undergo final assessments. Ekitike came off injured in the Champions League, and Chiesa, who missed the Galatasaray trip with a knock, are both pushing for involvement. With Alisson sidelined, recent signing Georgi Mamadashvili will be handed an extended chance between the posts. The Georgian, who joined from Valencia after a deal was struck last year, has already impressed in limited outings. Slot praised him. "We knew we were bringing in a top goalkeeper. He showed against Southampton that he has settled in well. Now he has the opportunity to do what Cohen Kelleher has done in the past, step in for Ali when needed." Slot also emphasized the need for Liverpool to control games better, suggesting that small margins and reliance on set pieces should not determine results. Last season, it came down to fine details, and that's the case again. We need to find solutions that don't depend on luck. Ekitike, for example, worked hard to stay on his feet twice through on goal, but then their player goes down easily. We must make sure those moments don't affect us. Liverpool news and transfers live. Updates on Alisson, Ekitike, and Chiesa injuries. Plus Slot's press conference. Liverpool's latest news and transfer updates bring fresh injury developments on Alisson Becker, Hugo Ekitike, and Federico Chiesa, as Arne Slot addressed the media ahead of this weekend's Premier League clash against Chelsea. Following back-to-back defeats against Crystal Palace and Galatasaray, the Reds will attempt to rediscover their rhythm when they travel to Stamford Bridge. A single strike from Victor Osimhen converting. penalty was enough for the Turkish champions to claim victory in the Champions League group stage. Liverpool struggled throughout the game, rarely threatening to mount a comeback, and ended the night with even more concerns than just the result. Both Alisson and Mkhitaryan were forced off in the second half through injury, raising serious doubts about Liverpool's depth heading into a busy fixture schedule. While there is optimism that Ekitike could recover in time to feature against Chelsea, Slot has already ruled out Alisson, confirming that the goalkeeper faces yet another spell on the sidelines. Slot defends. Konate, amid criticism, Arne Slot was also questioned about Ibrahima Konate, whose performances have come under scrutiny in recent weeks. The French defender has been at fault for some costly mistakes, including the misplaced pass that led to Galatasaray's key chance, during which Alisson sustained his injury. Konate also endured a difficult opening 45 minutes against Crystal Palace before improving after the break. Despite the criticism, Slot insisted that responsibility lies with the team as a whole rather than just one individual.
When you lose,
the focus always falls on the key moments, and suddenly 90 minutes looks very poor, Slot explained. But I don't see games only that way. When I review them afterward, I also look at what we did well. In the last 2 matches, yes, we've made mistakes. Not only him, but others as well. Mistakes that are unusual for us. And when that happens alongside defeats, the manager tends to get criticized. Injury latest, Alisson Ekitike. Slot confirmed that Alisson will be unavailable until after the international break. The Brazilian was excluded from his national team's upcoming friendlies against South Korea and Japan. On the brighter side, both Hugo Ekitike and Federico Chiesa could return to action this weekend. The pair are set to take part in training today before undergoing final assessments. I'd be surprised if Alisson is ready for the first game back after the international break, Slot admitted. Ekitike, who also went off injured during the Galatasaray clash, still has a chance of featuring. Chiesa, meanwhile, was left out of the trip to Turkey after suffering a minor knock earlier in the week. But having scored at Selhurst Park last weekend, he remains in contention to return against Chelsea. Very disappointing. Liverpool lonely under pressure after poor start in Italy. Kostas Tsimikas left Liverpool in the summer transfer window to join AS Roma on loan. There was a sense of optimism around the deal at first, especially after the Greek defender put in a strong display in the Europa League opener against it. Nice. He was also handed a starting role against Lille, but things quickly went wrong for Roma. Gian Piero Gasparini's men lost the game in bizarre fashion, missing 3 penalties, and Tsimikas' own display came under fire. According to calcio.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.ito.